The continent of Africa boasts 54 independent countries, each with a unique culture, ethnicity, language, and religion. It is too large, multidimensional, and diverse to be reduced to a 10-minute video. This is a snapshot of African art. African artists often depicted figures as human and supernatural. These figures portrayed cultural ancestors, religious deities, or supernatural spirits and transformed them into physical forms. This technique superseded any works realized in the natural world at the time. Here are some additional characteristics representative of African art. Little wooden statues called dap were popular in the 17th century. These lifelike representations honored the Kuba kings. The tradition began when King Mishi Mishang Mambo commissioned a sculpture to commemorate his legacy. Since then, each king has had his own dap, serving as a historical record in a culture without written documentation. By the 18th century, the Asante Empire covered most of present-day Ghana. After Ghana's independence was earned, it became a recognized traditional subnational state. The Ashanti lineage persists today, with the king resided in Kumase's royal palace, and the royal households were renowned for their prized 18th century kente cloth. Kente means basket in Ashanti. It's woven by male weavers on double-headed looms with striking stripes and geometric patterns. Originally, it was controlled by royal Kumasi guilds. It remains worn by the Ashanti on special occasions, but is now available to all Ghanaians, although it is very costly. Kente's craftsmanship underscores its prestige as a ceremonial textile. In the early 1800s, declining slave trade profits and moral concerns led Europeans to compete for Africa's interior resources. The 1884 to 1885 Berlin Conference divided Africa without regard to borders. By 1914, nearly all of Africa, except Ethiopia and Liberia, was under European control, drastically altering its political landscape. Concerns regarding slave trading in Africa were rampant and prompted European traders, explorers, missionaries, and anthropologists to turn their attention towards Africa's interior to secure its resources. By 1914, almost the whole continent, aside from Ethiopia and Liberia, was under the control of European powers. In the 1897 punitive expedition, the British exiled Benin's Oba Ovonro Woman, leaving the Edo people without official recognition until the monarchy was restored in 1914. Upon his return, Oba Enwika II commissioned new ancestral altars replicating traditional brass, ivory, and coral projects to replace those taken by the British, including one honoring his father, Ovonro Woman, who died in exile. Olawi of Ise was a renowned Yoruba artist known for his distinctive carved doors and veranda posts for Yakiti Yoruba royalty in southwestern Nigeria during the 19th to early 20th centuries. As a court carver for the kings of Ise and Ikede, he depicted royal histories and events, showcasing wealth and innovation. Alongside a rawagun, he represented a tradition of Yoruba royal carving. His notable works include three large veranda columns at the Ikari King's Palace, featuring royal figures and an equestrian soldier. Were characteristically produced in great detail, indicating an intimacy with his work, craftsmanship, mediums, materials, and subjects. Founded in 1394 in Fumbam, Cameroon, the Bamum Kingdom thrived under Van Ibrahim Nahoya from 1918, who led a cultural revival by creating the Bamum script, fostering arts and engaging colonial powers. Deposed by the French in 1924, he died in exile in 1933. His grandson, Sultan Ibrahim Mbambo Nahoya, now leads the kingdom. In 1906, King Nahoya stands next to his father's beaded throne, wearing a German officer's uniform. In 1902, German official Captain Hans Ramsay visited Fumbam to trade and admired the king and his palace. Ramsay asked for the throne, made in the late 1880s and passed down from King Nsangu as a gift from the German Kaiser. The throne is decorated with carved wood, beads, and figures showing the king's power and protection. In early 21st century, contemporary African artists seamlessly combined traditional techniques with modern materials, technologies, and themes that reflected current political issues. Many of them not only learned from local masters, but also pursued education at leading art schools around the world. Living across different countries, they draw on a wide range of cultural experiences that shape their work. This rich blend of influences results in a vast diversity of artistic styles, making it impossible to define African art with a single unified perspective in the 21st century. Examples of late 20th century and early 21st century art are depicted in this frame. Century contemporary artists commanded cultural fluency. Their art transcended cultures, times, and places to convey the issues of their time to all parts of the globe. Amy Mapane highlights Congo's colonial legacy, linking history and global awareness. This was a common technique to preserve African history and insights through their art. Mohole, born in 1972 in Durban, is a visual activist who uses photography and film to combat discrimination against black lesbians and the LGBTQ+ community. Her Faces and Phases series documents LGBTQ+ individuals, while Being picture celebrates the relationships. Through powerful images like Thobe and Phila 1, Moholi advocates for equality and recognition of LGBTQ+ people in South Africa. Mohole's Thobe and Phila is depicted in this frame. Why did I select African art for this assignment? Our authors, Stockstad and Associates, were the first to present African art to me. As I read the text, I started to recognize the period works and notice similarities with modern works. The vibrant colors and attention to detail characteristic of African art impressed upon me the contemporary artists' representation of their period's reality. One image of African art that I can't get out of my head is African dance. My hypothesis was African art the ancestor to performance art. Included in the last frame is a list of sources I used to complete this assignment. Thank you.